What's up, guys? Welcome back to Almost Functional 40K. I'm here today to build the Vanguard Spearhead list for that detachment out of the Marine book. We've only got a couple detachments left in this series of building a wolf list for every available detachment. You'll notice that I didn't do Stormlance because you can go back and look at my ATC builds to see the Stormlance list I built, and we all know how the Stormlance looks. It's just the Thunderwolf GL is really the best way to build it. So I didn't feel like there was a need to make another video on that. But with that being said, let's go ahead and look at the Vanguard Spearhead detachment. So Shadow Masters, each time a ranged attack targets an Adeptus Astartes unit from your army, unless the attacking model is within 12 inches, subtract 1 from the hit roll, and the target has the benefit of cover against the attack. Alright, so -1 to hit and cover if you're outside of 12. That seems like a pretty solid rule. I know most wolves lists we like to get close, but this helps us take less damage on our way there, hopefully. Then enhancements, Blade Driven Deep, Adeptus Astartes infantry model only, while the bear is leading a unit. Models in that unit have the Infiltrator's ability. There are so many options to do some weird stuff with this, so I really like that. Ghostweave Cloak, Adeptus Astartes model only. The bearer has the stealth and lone operative abilities. That could be cool if on the right character. Execute and redeploy, Phobos model only. In your shooting phase, after the bear's unit is shot, the unit is not within engagement range of one running unit. It can make a normal move up to 6 inches. If it does until the end of the turn, that unit is not eligible to declare a charge. This cannot allow the bear's unit to move more than once in your shooting phase. So you can't put it on eliminators and double move, basically, in the shooting phase. Shadow War Veteran, Phobos model only. Once per battle, after your opponent uses stratagem, the bear could use this enhancement. If it does, during the battle, increase the stratagem cost your opponent by 1 CP. So this, just like all the other rules like this, just becomes Lord of Deceit. So you have the potential here to take Bjorn, a character with this, in the Calidus to go triple Vect, as they call it, or triple Lord of Deceit. I don't necessarily know if you need to do that, go 3, but that is definitely an option with this detachment. Then their stratagems are, we have a deadly prize, start of the command phase, 1 Adeptus Astartes infantry or mounted unit from your army within range of an objective marker you control. Basically, you sabotage it, and it remains under your control even if you leave it, so basically you sticky it, and if an enemy unit moves within range of it, on a d6, you roll a d6, and on 2 up, they take d3 mortals, and this continues to happen until they end up controlling it. So if they, for some reason, move on it and don't take it from you, then next movement that moves on it, like, you could possibly keep that going. Strike from the shadows in your shooting phase, 1 infantry unit. Till the end of the phase, each time a model unit makes a ranged attack that targets an enemy unit more than 12 inches away, you get +1 ballistic skill in AP. If one or more enemy models are destroyed by that, they must take a battle shock test. So this basically gives you +1 hit and +1 AP, while you're also getting -1 to be hit and cover. So it's basically giving you benefits that are basically the opposite of the benefits you get from the detachment. So that's kind of cool. Armor Contempt, we know. Calculated Feint, 1 infantry unit in your opponent's charge phase just after enemy unit declares a charge. So a Phobos or scout unit can move 6 inches. A normal unit can move up to d6. It's potentially trying to run out of or make a longer charge range. Surgical Strikes, 1 Adeptus Astartes infantry unit from your army that has not been selected to fight this phase. Until end of the phase, melee weapons equipped by models in unit have the precision ability. So you can give a whole unit precision. I really like that. That's pretty strong. Guerrilla Tactics, end of your opponent's fight phase, up to 2 Phobos and or scout units from your army, or 1 other unit, and 1 other infantry unit. You can move them from the battlefield and put them into strategic reserves. They must be more than 3 inches away from all enemy models. Yeah, so there's not a lot of damage buffs here. There's a lot of movement and redeploy type buffs. So this is a list that's going to take a real high skill level outside of not just run straight at your opponent and whack them. So we're going to go ahead and pull up Battle Scribe and see what kind of list we can come up for this. All right, so we'll go ahead and take this to full screen. All right, so Vanguard Detachment, 2,000 points. So the first thing I thought about was that enhancement that lets you give an infantry unit infiltrate. And then also I think that pairs good with the stratagem that lets you put a unit back up into reserves. So I was thinking that would pair really, really well with a unit with deep strike. So I was thinking, all right, let's take a Terminator squad. What is the best thing to lead a Terminator squad? You can take a captain, since you can do that 2 CP strat for 1 cheaper. You can take a lieutenant with him if you want. You can take a librarian. I like personally the chaplain. I like the +1 to wound. And then I take the Wolfguard Terminators. Oh, went past them, didn't I? Yeah, Wolfguard Terminators. I'm going to give them all Thunderhammer Storm Shield. I'm not going to waste time doing it while we're building this video, but they're all going to have Thunderhammer Storm Shield. And then he is going to take, I believe it's the Blade Driven Deep. Come on, show it to me. Blade Driven Deep. Yep, so now him and the Terminators are able to infiltrate. Like, I'm tempted to even make this a 10-man and just be like, boom, infiltrating Terminators, right? But that's harder to hide. So I think you infiltrate a 5-man. That just gives you some easy to hide. I do think we take Bjorn. -1 to hit, plus automatic cover, plus his other defensive buff. That's just going to make him even harder to kill than normal. Give him whatever you want here. I'm still like to take the Multi-melta. Probably just still my 9th edition mindset. Multi-meltas aren't really that great anymore, but for some reason, just my brain still always wants to take the Multi-melta. All right, and so then we're going to want to take some Phobos units, which I always like infiltrators, so that's not a bad thing to me, but we're definitely going to take 2 squads of infiltrators. Gauntlets, duplicate. All right, so 2 infiltrators. And then I think we take the lieutenant with Combi-weapon, got that built-in lone op, and we give him the Shadow of War Veteran for the extra Vect. And depending on how points and the rest of it shakes out, we could take the Calidus for the 3rd one and just get silly. But I will keep that as an option, but not necessarily go in on that yet. With the -1 to hit and cover, I want some long range shooting to really benefit from that. So I'm going to take a Ballistus. So infiltrators can be good at holding your backfield. Maybe move on. I think we give one of them the Phobos Librarian. I think we do that. Now you can be a little more aggressive with them, because if anybody gets within 12 never has to get within 12 to shoot them. We could give them the redeploy, so if they shoot, they can move. The Ghostweave Cloak, I don't think we need to give him lone op and stealth because he's with a unit. I think we can give them execute and redeploy so they can shoot and move. So I think that's a really nice little trick there. So what else do we want to add? So we still got 1,005 points. So we got Terminators can do some damage. I think we need a little extra damage here. So what do we want to add? We can go, you know, I like Bladeguard. They're good in most detachments. Give them Ragnar. They got the advance and charge. I wish you gave Ragnar relics or enhancements, because I would have given him the infiltrate him in Bladeguard. That would have been fun, but you can't. So the Terminators hit hard. We'll go ahead and take the Bladeguard. Did I put them out there? No, it didn't. Give me the Bladeguard. We're gonna make them a 6-man. And then we add Ragnar. All right, and at this point, do we want to take an Impulsor for him? Or we can also take a Redeemer. I really like the Redeemer right now. I think that the other list I was building, my Champions of Rust build, if you guys saw my tournament recap, I almost had him in the Land Raider, but I kicked him out of it in favor of the Terminators. So we'll go ahead and put the Redeemer in here, give it all its stuff. So that only fills up half of it. So at that point, we can do the double Bladeguard I was debating in the other list. But then I think we're still going to run into the problem of not having enough anti-vehicle. And I think we need a little bit. So at this point, we can take the Vindicator or the Lancers. I think the Lancers are the better option with the wanting to stay far away in this list for the bonuses. So I think we do run the double Lancer. I know some of this stuff you see in multiple lists, but some of it's just really, really good. So that leaves us 130 points. I think we got good anti-vehicle here, and with the Ballistas, Redeemer's good. The Terminators, the Bladeguard. All right, so this doesn't leave us the points for the second squad in here, so we're just going to have Ragnar coming out of the Land Raider, but I think that's fine. But with 130 points, we could take 2 scout squads or Inceptors. I do like Inceptors, but with all the bonuses to Phobos and Scout, I think we do double Scout squad here. I think that's the play for Vanguard, and you can kit them out however you want. They're there for their uppy, down, and their score and stuff. However you have your stuff kitted is fine. That takes us to 2,000 points. This isn't a list that's probably going to win a straight-up fight, but you're going to have to use your redeploys and reactive moves and infiltrates to score points and just outmaneuver your opponent. So this isn't going to be an army just anybody can run. This is going to take a lot of pre-thought and careful positioning and just a high skill cap. I think this, in the hands of a really, really good player, I think this could be a very solid list. I don't think this is winning any GTs. You could win some local RTTs with it, maybe. You could still place well, have a winning record at a GT. And this would just be fun, throw some people for loops. This could be an interesting teams list because it would just be really, really annoying for certain things to fight. But that's really it for this. We could try to find the extra 100 points to throw the Calidus in here too. That'd be cute to do this triple vect. But I think 2 is fine. And us getting 1 for, how many points is he? Where'd he go? 100 points. So basically he's the same points as the Calidus, but he doesn't have the up-down. But he does get the reactive move built into himself, and he can give the reroll 1s to wound on one objective for your army. So I think since we have that option here, I think this is the way to go. You could drop one of the infiltrators and take that guy, but I don't think take the Catalyst, but I don't think so. I think this, well, I don't think it's super strong, but I think it is really quirky and would be interesting to put on the table. So if you have these models, I'd say line up a game with your friends, try this out. Let me know how it does. I'm going to be practicing the Champions of Rust list I'm working on because I got a couple big events coming up in the next month. So I won't have time to play around with some weird stuff like this till after that. But if anybody gets a chance to before then, let me know. But once again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.